We're at that point in the NBA offseason that could be referred to as the dead period because there just isn't much going on. Free agency hype has died down, summer league is over, and while there are still the occasional rumor and report that gets floated out there isn't much action happening on a consistent basis. Teams are still plotting behind the scenes though, and sometimes the biggest and riskiest moves take a while to come into fruition, which is what we'll be analyzing today. Bleacher Report published an article recently proposing 5 trades in particular that may be risky but could actually work, and as always with these types of proposals, I'm here to go through each one to discuss why or why not the deal makes sense, who benefits the most from it, and anything else that could play into the trades going down. If you want to read the actual article itself, that will be linked in the description. Before we start though, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as all support is very much appreciated. Now with that being said, let's begin. The first risky trade proposed in the article is between the Miami Heat and the Brooklyn Nets, and in it the Heat receive Kyrie Irving and Day'Ron Sharpe in exchange for Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, and Max Strus. The Heat, for good reason, have been connected to some of the biggest names available on the trade market this offseason, but nothing has really come from it yet. After coming so close to another NBA Finals berth last season, they want to get over that hump and seem to be trying to do that by looking to acquire another star talent, but the fact of the matter is that I'm really not sold on them having the necessary assets to do so. For example, in this specific offer for Kyrie Irving, I don't view Kyle Lowry as much of an asset in the year 2022 because not only will he be vastly overpaid under contract for 2 more years, but his play is declining rapidly as he continues to get up there in age, and he is coming off of a miserable showing in the playoffs. Adding on to that, Duncan Robinson's massive contract being included in the deal is yet another negative asset, as he's set to make about $18 million per year for the next 4 years, and he's coming off of a season where he fell out of the team's rotation entirely because of his inconsistent shooting and horrible defense. Kyrie Irving may come with his own set of reasons to be concerned, but as a basketball player, he is still phenomenal, and this offer by the Heat gives up nothing of significant value for him. The Nets may be willing to explore trades for Kyrie, but it doesn't mean they're going to desperately give him up for pennies on the dollar, and that's what they would be doing by giving him up for something like this. The next risky proposal is between the Utah Jazz and the Los Angeles Lakers, in which the Lakers receive Mike Conley, Bojan Bogdanovic, and Malik Beasley in exchange for Russell Westbrook, Talen Horton-Tucker, and 2 future first-round picks. The Lakers had their sights aimed high, hoping to trade for Kyrie Irving for a while, but like we realized with the Miami Heat proposal, they just don't have the pieces to make that happen, as Russell Westbrook does not warrant that kind of return. This kind of a pivot, however, is much more in the wheelhouse of possibility for them. The Utah Jazz seem very close to shipping out Donovan Mitchell in a trade, and once that happens, they will be having a fire sale with the rest of their top talent as they shift into rebuild mode, and I love this kind of package for the Lakers. Mike Conley may not be as good as he used to be, and he's also probably not as good as Russell Westbrook is in a vacuum, but he is more suited to play the role that the Lakers need from the point guard alongside LeBron James. Malik Beasley is also someone that can fill the void left behind by Malik Monk as a volume shooter from deep who can go off here and there. Then Bojan Bogdanovic provides a reliable secondary scoring output as an efficient scoring threat inside and out. It's obviously not ideal for the Jazz to have to buy out Russell Westbrook's contract, but with just 1 year left, it's not the end of the world. 2 first-round picks is a solid haul, and Talen Horton-Tucker is an intriguing young piece to try to tap into as they move into rebuild mode. The next proposal is between the Atlanta Hawks and the Brooklyn Nets, and in it the Hawks receive Ben Simmons in exchange for John Collins and Bogdan Bogdanovic. This deal definitely falls into the risky category, because everything about Ben Simmons at this point in time is a risk. He hasn't played basketball in over a year now, he hasn't played a single game with the Brooklyn Nets yet, and he also now has a nagging back issue that teams need to be cognizant of. When I first saw this proposal, my reaction was to shoot it down, because Ben's value is definitely in the gutter at this point in time. However, the whole point of the proposals in this video is that they come with some risk, and when I thought more about it, I started to see some motivation for both teams to explore something like this. Right now, Ben Simmons and his contract are one of the biggest reasons why Kevin Durant and a trade for him has stalled, because there's a rule in place that only allows teams to acquire one player with the kind of max contract that Ben Simmons is signed to, so they can't add any other stars signed to a similar contract in return for Durant right now. By moving Simmons, it would free the team up to get back to exploring the Kevin Durant trade market, while getting two very productive players that can contribute for a winning team in John Collins and Bogdan Bogdanovic. From the Hawks' perspective, they were one of the 5 worst defenses in the NBA last season, and after trading for DeJounte Murray, they are clearly trying to fix that. Ben Simmons was the Defensive Player of the Year runner-up the last time that he was on the court, and with him and DeJounte, alongside the likes of DeAndre Hunter, Clint Capella, and Onyeka Okongwu, all of a sudden the Hawks would be formidable on that end. Offensively, there will be kinks that need to be worked out, as Simmons would end up playing more off-ball than he ever has, with Trae Young and DeJounte Murray handling the rock, and obviously this isn't a perfect trade, but weirdly enough, I kind of like it enough to be intrigued by it. The next proposal in the article is between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Utah Jazz, and in it the Cavs receive Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gay in exchange for Colin Sexton, Ochai Agbaji, Lauri Markkanen, Isaac Okoro, 2 first-round picks, and 2 pick swaps. Donovan Mitchell is going to have to be the first domino to fall before the Jazz execute any other deals, and the Cavaliers could be an interesting sleeper team to get involved here. Darius Garland has emerged as one of the best young point guards in the NBA right now, and sliding Donovan Mitchell in alongside him in the team's backcourt would be a lethal duo. So while at first glance it seems like the Cavaliers are giving up a lot for him, the output makes it more than worth it. The Jazz will be the ones who need to be interested in these prospects for it to happen though. The Jazz have reportedly been seeking a crazy amount of first-round picks in return for Mitchell in any trade, and I'm not sure if 2 picks and 2 pick swaps will be enough to turn their heads, but the players included in this package could possibly make up for the difference. Sexton missed almost all of last year, but was a 24-point scorer when he was last healthy. Markkanen is a proven floor spacing big man, Okoro is a developing defensive stud, and Agbaji is about to be a rookie, so he hasn't proven much yet, but has potential. I really like the fit of Garland and Mitchell, so even if this isn't enough to sway the Jazz, I think the Cavaliers should push for something like this to happen. And finally, the last proposed deal in the article is between the Phoenix Suns and the Brooklyn Nets, and in it the Suns receive Kevin Durant in exchange for Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, Jay Crowder, 4 first-round picks, a pick swap, and 7 second-round picks. I'll keep this last one short and sweet, but quite simply, this is not going to happen. Desperately throwing in 7 second-round picks is not changing how the Nets feel about Durant and his value, and the fact of the matter is that they've already said no to similar offers by the Suns. The Nets want a star talent back for him, which this offer does not have, and plenty of other teams are able to offer similar draft capital. This is easily the least likely offer to happen out of the 5 that we've discussed today, and while Durant may have stated that the Suns are one of his preferred destinations, it doesn't mean the Nets are going to cave and take a lesser offer like this. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you think about these hypothetical trade offers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.